week's Parsha, the Torah tells us about the mitzvah of tzedakah. There are three common misconceptions that many people have regarding this mitzvah. Misconception number one, that one cannot fulfill the mitzvah of tzedakah with one's immediate family. The exact opposite is in fact true. The Torah lists an order of priorities in giving tzedakah. The poor of your city come before the poor of another city. The poor of Eretz Yisrael come before the poor of other countries. But at the very top of the chain of priority are one's relatives, who are to receive before any other person. The second misconception is that the mitzvah of tzedakah can only be fulfilled by giving someone a financial gift. The truth is, in fact, that one can fulfill this mitzvah in an equal measure by giving someone a good word in the time of need. In fact, the Talmud tells us that someone who gives a poor person money receives 6 different blessings, whereas someone who gives him a word of encouragement receives up to 11 different blessings. The third misconception is that there is a one-size-fits-all way to fulfill the mitzvah, and that the main thing is to take care of the person's immediate necessities, but we need not inquire too much about their background and circumstances. The truth is that the Torah clearly tells us that when giving tzedakah, one needs to take into account the background of the individual and treat them accordingly. The Talmud tells the story of the great sage Hillel, who found a man who had once been very wealthy but had since lost everything. Hillel bought him a horse to ride on, and Hillel personally ran in front of the horse because this was what this individual had become accustomed to. When we put together all these three key components in the mitzvah of tzedakah, we find that as parents we have a golden opportunity at our fingertips to fulfill this mitzvah daily in the best possible way. Our children are our closest relatives, and so they come before everyone else in this mitzvah. Besides for providing them with their financial needs, what they are often most in need of is a word of support and encouragement, a smile or a pat on the back to give them a boost when they are feeling emotionally needy. This is equal to, if not better than, giving financial support to a man in need. But most importantly, just as with the mitzvah of tzedakah, when providing our kids with emotional support and encouragement, there cannot be a one-size-fits-all approach. Just because something worked for one child doesn't mean that it will be effective for another. No two kids are alike, and we need to take the individual background and circumstances of each child into account and provide encouragement accordingly. Good Shabbos.